Hi everyone, and welcome to the demonstration video I made of some of the work I've been doing on the John Deere 8820 Harvester. Now this harvester was originally brought in from 15 to 17 by Ross W, and then we added a header to it and a trailer and made a V1 out of it. Since then I've been continuing my work on the harvester. And the first big thing I did is I've actually taken it out into Blender and pulled the mesh apart, fixed some of the normals and the materials. And the big reason for doing that was really to enable it to be capable of becoming dirty and washable. And while doing that, I fixed some of the normals, which you can tell in the shading now it's doing the appropriate FS17 style kind of shading. I also fixed some of the other issues and added some interactive control features to it that I'll walk through. So why don't we go ahead and jump inside. And the first thing you'll notice up there in the corner is Enable IC. So I've added some interactive controls, and my plan is to release this as version 2 now that it can get dirty and it's washable. I've got some people testing it, a couple of friends. And if there's no issues, then we'll go ahead and release it publicly. I'll go ahead and release it publicly. So I went ahead and enabled the IC. You'll see there's a button here. You can now open the cab door, and you can close the cab door, and you get nice little sound effects with that. It took me a bit to do that. I had to do it in Blender. The original modder or artist made the door to be artistic and not actually functionable, so I had to pull some things apart to make that happen. But it's really nice to be able to open and close the door in the 8820, getting in and out, doing harvesting. The other thing is, growing up with these kinds of harvesters, it was always hot during harvest, and so we always had the AC on when we're in the cab. So now I added a button to enable the AC, so you can hit it and you'll hear the roar of the AC running in the cab. If we jump out, it's silent. So that sound adheres to the indoor policies, and you only hear it when you're actually inside the cab. I haven't addressed the scale issue yet. It's a little bit oversized, but some of the work I did with the mesh has made that an easier task for a later pass. So I plan to scale it down when I have some time. There's just a lot of little parts that will have to be managed as part of that. And if anybody has feedback too on what I've done so far, what they'd like to see, we'll make this an iterative process and see if we can add in additional capability and feature. Eventually I'd like to add in customizations, maybe have the track tires become line 2-wheel drive tires instead of these 4-wheel drive tires. The other thing I did is I did fix the back axle to be a little more loose. It was kind of tight, and it's not perfect. The way it animates for that isn't perfect, but it's at least usable, and this is a great harvester. So I'll jump back in the cab now, and why don't we actually go get the header and we'll get it dirty. I just fired it up. You see the RPMs drop there. We can see the exhaust coming out of the smokestack now. We'll go get the header and we'll actually go harvest with it. We'll get it dirty and then we'll come back and wash it. I don't believe the 8820 has ever been washable or dirty since it's been available in the Farming Simulator series. I think that's due to just it was around before that feature was enabled, and the work was never done to bring it up to stuff until now. So I think we'll be able to see it get washed for the first time as part of this demo here. I've got the dirtiness set to get dirty within a couple of minutes, so it's going to get dirty really fast, but when I release the mod, it will definitely get slower, accumulate dirt slower, so you have to actually get out in the field and really harvest with it. So I'm attaching the header now. One of the other things I addressed is there was a bug with the way the attacher mechanism went up and down. It would jitter. It's very smooth now. I actually had to pull it apart and work on some of the transforms that were in there to make that a very smooth process for taking the header up and down. So with that, why don't we take it out to the field? I was harvesting some wheat out here. I've got a little bit left we can go and get this dirty with. And we'll head out there. And you'll see the tires are already accumulating dirt. You can see my 9R back there in the big air seeder. The dirt will accumulate very quickly, starting tires and heading up the rest of the body. I really wanted it to look quite dusty, like it'd been in the field for several days once it was to full dirt capacity. We used to actually drive out in the mornings and Windex the windows and use the air compressor to kind of blow off the dirt. We never really pressure washed them until they were done in the field. So I turned the header on. We'll start harvesting. The other thing is you'll see the floorboard is getting dusty. I went ahead and enabled that as just sort of a cool effect where the floor is getting dirty from getting in and out while it's dirty. You'll see it's getting dirty pretty quick here. Should be full dirt in another few seconds here. And then we'll get to go wash it. So I'm using the county line map. It's a very beautiful map if you haven't had a chance to see it yet or play with it. I also have a personal map I'm working on that I probably won't release, but I do like to spend time in this map, and it's available. So we'll go ahead and take this back and see. We're very dirty here. Looks like it's been out in the field for weeks now. So we'll head back and we'll set it up and wash it. Those of you who don't like the AC sound, you can just not turn it on, obviously, in the IC panel. I did it more just because it made me feel like I did when we used these back in the day. And it felt really great to have that AC sound going while I was running the harvester and even unloading it into a cart. It's very nice. Alright, back here to the main farm and park. Shadows and reflections and everything are really quite great. So now what we'll do is we'll turn off the AC and we'll open the door. And we'll kill the harvester. And we'll jump out. Header clean in, let's get weird running. So 8820 is almost completely clean. A bit of dirt left there on the tires. In real life, obviously, we would not wash it with the door. Alright. Oh, there's a kitty running around here. Alright. So now we have an 8820 that the door can be opened on, has an indoor AC sound, the header's been fixed, the rear axle's been loosened, and it gets dirty and washable. Thanks for watching, and I'll release it as soon as I can.